It is Saturday, November the 19th, 2011, and I'm parked here at Square One, and you've got Mississauga City Hall in the background. And I just want to set the record a little bit straight, or at least follow up on events that happened on November the 9th, 2011 inside Mississauga Council Chamber when McCallion-backed councillor Bonnie Crombie accused me of cyber-stalking. And I'm going to, this is a printout of National Post Megan O'Toole's article, Mississauga Councillor Accuses Watchdog of Cyber-Stalking Her Children on Facebook. And I just want to read part of it that says she, meaning Councillor Bonnie Crombie, was referring to an online video compilation featuring Facebook photographs of her 3 children that was uploaded by Mississauga Watch this past August. The video primarily focuses on Alex Crombie, now 22, contrasting pictures of his vacation and parties with a Facebook site he created to support his political ambitions. But the video also highlights photographs of 14-year-old Natasha Crombie and 18-year-old Jonathan Crombie. The children were younger in some of the featured photographs, Ms. Crombie said. And at the time I reacted, I was in total shock. During the council meeting, I was aware that I had created a video, but had not realized or not remembered that there was the younger Crombie's Facebook page. And upon reviewing it, I realized that, yes, that was true. The problem that I have is referenced the hot button word cyberstalked. And again, read Megan O'Toole's article. It says that it was the online video that was uploaded this past August. It's clear that Councillor Crombie knew since August that this video was online. And I have to say that on November the 9th, the presentation the deputation that I made in front of Mississauga Council, I only decided to do because the week before, the Wednesday before, which was, November the 2nd, was a pretty big exchange of words between the McCallion-backed councillors, all insisting that the Mississauga Judicial Inquiry was unnecessary, and that their $40,000 outside legal opinion was all that was ever needed, and that there wasn't much that the inquiry revealed that wasn't in that report. And, that's outrageous, absolutely outrageous. And I thought I would follow up on a video and on a presentation. The night before, which was November the 8th, the video was going so poorly that I almost bailed. I almost said, forget it, I'll do it the next week or some other time. And, it's left me to wonder, having considered pulling out, I was that close. The question in my mind is, how long would Councillor Crombie have taken to finally act on her concerns regarding cyberstalking? Mid-August, and it was almost mid-November. We're talking about almost 3 months. And only because I went up there. I've had a lot of time to think, like, since November the 9th, I really haven't done any kind of blog. I've been really thinking, and thinking, and thinking. And again, there's this thought that keeps skipping around in my head like a record. Councillor Crombie knew about that video since mid-August. And yet she waited till November the 9th at a council meeting to act on those concerns. And she had plenty of opportunity in the meantime. I remember seeing her, let me see, I guess the first would be her swear-in when she walked into council for the first time, gave her oath of office. There was the judicial inquiry with Justice Cunningham giving his report. She was there for that too. A couple of other things. What if I hadn't gone up there? When was she going to express this concern? Who waits 3 months? And I just don't get that. What parent waits 3 months, almost 3 months, to act on a concern about cyber-stalking. And I keep asking myself that, like a broken record. What parent waits 3 months? That place doesn't make sense as it is. It's toxic. It's corrosive to the soul. And by the way, for the record, it was toxic and corrosive to the soul when I first started back in June 14th, 2006. There were already indications. But it's so much worse now. Anyway, I have something else for the record. And that's regarding not going back to Mississauga Council. October 2010, I already found it grim, and it goes beyond corrosive to the soul to a point of being just ashes. I'm so desperately trying to make sense of this place, how it's structured. This empire of illusion about the malfeasance and the corruption in here. The abuse of authority, and above all, the abuse of history. History. The revisionism. And it was a very short comment by an online commenter at the Mississauga News who said, Mississaugans don't care about optics. And no sooner did this guy post that than a week or two later, the Toronto Star comes out with a poll that says that Hazel McCallion is the most popular mayor in Canada and that 78% of Mississaugans approve of her. And this was after all of these revelations came out with the Mississauga Judicial Inquiry. And that really stung. That was crushing to me. That an online commenter that Mississaugans don't care about optics is true. I mean, I have to accept that it's true. He can't fight that. And already, I'm going to play two things. Comments that I made on September the 18th, just before residents of Ward 5 were to go to the polls. And at that point, I had already announced that my research time was over. I've often been asked, well, you've been doing this since 2006. When are you going to stop? And I always believe that there will be a signal. There will be a signal that your data collection time is over. And my signal, regardless of whether this election had been held or not, was seeing Andrew's photos, Hazel Victory Night, and seeing Victor O popping the champagne. That's when it all came together, when you saw Sheldon Liba, Mississauga Board of Trade, Victor O, Mississauga Chinese Business Association Honorary President. And thank you, Andrew, for your photographs documenting the Mississauga Chinese Business Association. That was, for me, the signal. And also, an even more important one, I believe it was October the 9th. And it was there, interestingly enough, that I had said that I would, that my research time would be closing by mid-November. I would think that by mid-November, my research time here is going to be over. There's one more event that I have to monitor, cover. And I beyond that, I think that you've got this closure that, I mean, some can argue and say, well, wait a second, now you need to document and follow how the judge's recommendations are going to be implemented. And of course I will. But I predict now that they will not be authentically implemented, and I'll tell you why. Like, there's a lot that I don't understand that makes no sense. And of course, always, you drive around and you ask yourself, what parent waits almost 3 months to act upon concerns that her child is being cyberstalked. And on one of these drives, a song came on by Jethro Tull, and it's called Living in the Past. And I realized by not going to Mississauga Council anymore, that's essentially what I'm doing, is it's like I've cut my own political observation and ended it on November the 9th, 2011. And it's like I'm now living in the past. That is, any interest that I have regarding Mississauga Council has a time frame of, say, May 6, 2006, when I first stepped into the Mississauga Council chambers, to November the 9th, 2011, which was my last time. So, the song Living in the Past, then, is a way of focusing me now to those 5 years, but also being kind of a discipline thing to say, look, perhaps something new is coming up that you should be observing or researching, but no. Your job now is to live in the past and report on that past. And that's going to be interesting, to become an expert on the Mississauga Council that was existing between May 2006 and November 9th, 2011. But I have to say, it's a relief. Oh God, it's a relief. I think I'm like a lot of human beings in that, you search for meaning, you search for, your world has to make sense, and right now it doesn't. And as a result, I'm not sure where to go. I know I have to file more freedom of information, that's for sure. And I know you don't turn to the traditional media, that's for sure. Anyway, that's it. That's more than enough. Turning camera off.